All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this edition, Believe in Bills. Adam Benini of WGRZ TV and Sports Talk Live Buffalo, Sal Majorana, the Rochester Democrat and Chronicle. And with us as the Bills get ready to hit the road for the first time in 3 games and face the Atlanta Falcons on Monday night is former Falcon and Raven fullback Ovie Mughelli, who is also the host of Believe in Falcons here on this podcast network. Ovie, thanks for being with us. We appreciate your time. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's fall break. I got kids running around the house. You might hear one or two. I only have so many doors I can close. But yeah, I'm enjoying life as a former athlete because these NFL players getting bigger and faster. They're hitting harder, and I don't know if I want to do that past 10 years that I did. So I'm just enjoying watching some good football. Hopefully, some good Falcons football continues, and I'll be a happy man.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game, Ovie. Your team, I can't quite get a grip on what they are yet because they've looked so good some weeks and really bizarre in other weeks. And now you're facing a Bills team that's kind of facing its first dose of adversity for the first time this year. So I think this game really sets up as a pretty interesting one for Monday night. What are your initial thoughts on the matchup?
My initial thoughts, I wish you guys won the game because I don't want to face an angry Josh Allen. I just don't. I've watched Josh, as we all have for years, and an angry Josh Allen is not a person that anyone wants to see. I don't want to say angry, just he has a chip on his shoulder. They've faced adversity, and they got beat by a Patriots team that they should have beat. But now they're going to want their get back. They're going to want it against us. I wanted them to be flying high, feeling good, and for us to be that Patriots team that surprised them and kind of took them back down to reality. But now we're going to get their best shot.
It's funny, when this thing was laying out before the Patriots game, I really had the thought that if the Bills are going to lose before their break, it was going to be the Atlanta game. That's the one that I thought was the trickiest one. Because they're going down there, and that's going to be a tough. I thought they'd handle the Patriots, and you're right. It has flipped now, and the Bills had this happen to them last year. Got off to a great start, and they had 2 stinkers in a row against your former team, the Ravens, and then the Texans, and they're right back in this same spot, and they'll be going into their bye week. And you know damn well, Ovie, they're not going to want to go to a bye week with 2 losses. So you're right about that, about being a little bit afraid.
I mean, you watch what happened in our bye week. We had a 30-0, stomping against the Panthers, a team we should have definitely beat, and we would not allow ourselves to go into our bye week with another loss, especially back-to-back loss. So it made us, tighten up in every single area, and we practice. Supposedly I wasn't there, but I heard from several people, including players, it was the hardest and best practice they've had their whole season long because they would not allow themselves to have that stank of back-to-back losses going to the bye week. Same with the Bills. They're going to come in here and not just give us our best shot. They're going to treat this like a Super Bowl, which is scary when Josh Allen and his whole team is operating at a high level.
Well, to deal with Josh Allen, and offense is the story for the Bills, obviously. Up until the New England game, they were 30-plus points a game. So they obviously have every intention to get back, and that's really sort of the personality of this football team. Particularly on the defense, they're vulnerable, and we'll get into aspects of that as we continue here on the show. But as you look at this, the Falcons are equipped fairly well defensively. When you look at the stats, right? Interconference game, so people are kind of getting themselves acquainted this week. Tops and total defense, however, they're giving up 21.5 points per game. What are they defensively, and how well equipped are they to take on this Buffalo team?
I would say bend and don't break, but we've bent a little bit and we've broken a little bit. And if you take out that Panthers game, even with the Panthers game, because of some of the interceptions and the turnovers, defense was put in some bad situations to where their numbers were skewed. I feel like we're just a complete defense this year. I love what Divine Diablo's done. I love what Caden Ellis has done in the middle. That used to be our soft spot. We always had some decent DBs. We had Grady Jarrett when we struggled to rush the passer. But now with our young guns, with Jalen Walker and with James Pierce and with some of even Arnold Ebiketie, we have some great guys. Rukaroro. It's been exciting. It's been a pleasant surprise to have our defense more times than not lead the way for our offense. So looking for the identity of this defense, I think it's one to where he's got to say we're well-rounded. We're not only well-rounded, but we have great leadership in fellow Wake Forest alumni, Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates wasn't first-team All-Pro for kicks. It wasn't that just because they were bored, had to give it to somebody. It's because I feel like he's the best safety in the NFL right now. And when he's able to direct the defense, to pump them up, to keep them grounded and in a place to where nothing's going to rattle them, to where they fall off the rails, that means something. And the mental stability of our defense has gone way up. And it's been continued to evolve year after year. So I'm loving the fact that I feel like we're prepared, we're ready, we're a veteran defense. Even though we have young players, we're playing like a veteran defense.
Yeah, you're right about Bates. We remember him from his Bengals days too. He was a terrific player for them, a team that always gave the Bills trouble. How about Watts though too? That's a 3rd-round pick that is playing. I mean, that kid's he's going to be an NFC, all rookie team player. It looks like, and then I think you're getting Terrell back too, right on the corner, who's a terrific player. Tell me.
Yeah, AJ Terrell is huge. Mike Hughes is had some trouble here and there, and the media likes to talk about him. I don't think he's the worst player out there. I think he's done a commendable job, but AJ Terrell is AJ Terrell. He got the money, he's gotten the accolades for a reason, and to have him to lock down some of your top players is just going to give us that much more of an ability to do what I feel like we're getting really good at, blitzing. When you don't have that lockdown corner, we don't have that guy who can shut down the side of the field, it's hard to let your defenders, your defensive ends, pin their ears back and just go at it. So AJ Terrell can help us in multiple ways, not just covering your top receiver, but giving our whole defense a little more room to do what we do best.
All right, this is
who's gonna start at corner for you? If it's gonna be Terrell back, does Hughes stay in the starting lineup, or is it Bowman? And who's the nickel guy there? Do you know what they're going to do yet?
I have no idea because Jeff Ulbrich is very good at changing it up. And if you and me and Adam can predict what the Falcons are going to do, then it's a problem. He'll be doing what people are actually accusing Zach Robinson of doing, being too predictable. So Jeff has been great where he's changed up the strategy almost every game. Of course, we're going to attack and we're blitz, and we're one of the more blitz happy defenses out there, but I still feel like we've been able to keep it different enough to where offenses can't key off on us and say they know exactly what we're going to do when we show up.
All right, interesting. So this is Believe in Bills, presented by FanDuel with former Falcons and Ravens fullback Ovie Mughelli and Sal Mayorana of the Rochester Democrat and Chronicle. Again, Bills-Falcons Monday night down in Atlanta. FanDuel has Allen at plus 148 for 250 plus passing yards in this game. The other aspect, the other sort of, blue chip player the Bills have on offense is running back James Cook. Now the Patriots did a very good job of taking him away and limiting him. And with a lot of man coverage, forced Allen to beat him with his arm, and a receiving core, Ovie, that is talented and versatile.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a burner, right? There's issues with Keon Coleman that we've talked about at great length here on the show. Everybody eats. I'm sure you've heard that and followed that and seen how Allen's able to distribute the football to a number of players. But the Patriots were able to really limit that, take Cook away, and that was a big part of their success, obviously, in their win Sunday night over Buffalo. Do you see, because we certainly anticipate other teams trying to take that approach, is that something that the Falcons will try and do?
Absolutely. My illustrious teammate and co-host Michael Turner talked about no one scares us on this team when it comes to receivers. Make Josh Allen have to use these non-scary receivers and beat us that way. With all due respect, Dalton Kincaid has just his first 100-yard game, but Dalton Kincaid isn't somebody that is, making people shaking their boots. Nor is Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman. It's just not some of the big name receivers that other teams have where you're like, we got to find a way to stop this guy. We have to double team this guy. We have to scheme to stop this person from going off. Says no one in the defensive meeting room about your wide receivers. So I could be wrong, and probably now one of your receivers are going to go off this game, make me eat these words, because I'm sure they watch the show every day, all the Bills receivers and offense. But anyway, we want Josh Allen to have to be the one that has a amazing Josh Allen passing a performance and uses these receivers to be what we feel like is one of the best defenses the Falcons have had in a very long time. So we feel good about our odds, our chances when it's our defense versus you guys' offense, pass defense versus your pass offense.
Ovie, you are speaking the truth, because believe me, the fact that they've scored 30 points in their first 4 games was a little bit stunning, because they do not have any threats in the passing game. They don't. They have Josh Allen, who can lift all boats, as we know. The key for them has been James Cook. James Cook has been terrific, and he has kept them, at least the first 4 games, he kept them in manageable down and distance, and that just allowed Allen to just work underneath to these average receivers, and that worked for 4 weeks. The Patriots finally, with a team that got smart and really buckled down, played for James Cook and played man defense behind it and dared the Bills to throw, and it worked to a charm. I think your defense looks like it could do exactly the same thing.
I agree.
All right, let's flip it to the other side of the ball. If the Bills are vulnerable, really vulnerable, I mean, that the Patriots exposed some things from an offensive standpoint, but others have exposed the run defense for one, and there's major questions in the secondary as well. FanDuel, the numbers: Bijan Robinson plus 102 for 80+ rushing yards. Right? You've seen others have success against this run defense. It's been a problem for Buffalo. I mean, it seems like a pretty, a formula that a lot of teams would expect to implement, and that's run the ball as effectively as you can, sustain drives, chew up clock, and keep Allen and that offense off of the field. And in his matchup, it seems like Atlanta's well equipped to do that.
No, that is a playbook we've used, because we have, one of the best, if not the best, running back out there in Bijan Robinson. And Tyler Algier is no slouch either. He gets forgotten about so often, but y'all remember him when he comes back and shows y'all with some of that battering, bruising run style that he has, that he is a clock churner. He will help us keep the ball on our side. He'll help us stay ahead of the sticks. And if we can do what we've done pretty successfully the majority of the year, which is let Bijan be Bijan, let him go and do whatever the heck he wants, whether it's a bubble screen, whether it's a quick 5-yard outside the sticks, or whether it's just surprisingly him running between the tackles. I was concerned when Bijan first got here. I'm like, this guy's not big enough to run between the tackles. He can't get those tough yards. I mean, he's more of a slender, skinny, lean guy. He's not who I blocked for Jamal Lewis in Baltimore, or a Michael Turner with the Falcons. He's not a big, bulky, tree trunk leg guy. He has proven me wrong. He's proven a lot of people wrong, to where he can run inside and outside the tackles. And because of that, it's a perfect recipe for us to do exactly what you mentioned. Keep Josh Allen on the sidelines, keep the ball in our hands, keep making these drives, long, methodical drives that allow us to, before you know it, it's fourth quarter, and we've scored only a couple touchdowns, but it's more than you guys have.
What is your impression of Penix? I know it's very early. This is only going to be his 8th start. He's coming off a great game against the Commanders, but you look at the numbers, and it looks like he's struggling to throw the ball downfield. He has not been good in the intermediate area. Then again, he's been pretty good in the short area, and he has Bijan, so that helps. What is your impression, though, of what he's looked like so far? And really, this is his first year, because he had the whole training camp. So and he was going in as the starter this year. What are your impressions so far?
No, I love Penix. My co-host Mike Turner and I had a chance during the Falcons' first annual Falcons fan cruise. Mike's mom and his family were there, so we had a chance to hear all the Michael Penix baby stories and growing up, and kind of understand the type of individual he is. And if you just watched him just on college, to see the tenacity, the determination, his ability to bounce back from the injuries, and having year after year to start, you know that this is a man that not only can prepare the right way, can study the right way, but has a temperament to deal with any adversity that comes at him. But more often than that, he's very coachable. So every game, I feel like he's getting better. Not sure what happened in the Panthers game. That we're going to throw that out. But even the fact that Panthers game happened and he threw an interception, he didn't play his best game, but came back against the Commanders and improved significantly. I love what the young man's doing. I know there are people still knocking him and saying his best is not Kirk Cousins' best. I'm like, all right, that's probably right. Kirk Cousins is, again, Pro Bowl, All-Pro, been in a decade plus. It's not Kirk Cousins' team. This is not ever going to be a Kirk Cousins situation where he comes in because Michael Penix played a bad game or games. I don't think they will put Kirk in unless, God forbid, something gets hurt, Mike gets hurt, which, hopefully does not happen. Penix is somebody who has been improving at a rate to where he can be our franchise quarterback. He can be the Matt Ryan that I played with. He can be the Michael Vick that was here for years and years and years. So I know people want right now production. They want him to play at the Michael Vick, Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins level right now. It's not going to happen. What he's going to do, he's not going to be the reason we lose games. He won't be the reason we win games, but his lack of interceptions, his lack of fumbles, him making the right calls, I think will keep us in enough games to where we can make the playoffs this year. We can have a great team, and he can slowly turn into that franchise quarterback who is having Josh Allen-like numbers, who is being able to take over games like Matt Ryan used to. So I know he's not there yet, but he's a darn good quarterback.
Has he got enough to keep pace in this game? I mean, that's the big question I think that people have, right? Can Penix and that offense keep pace with Allen and what they bring to the table?
If it turns into a shootout and we can't run the ball, no. I mean, it's not a hot take to say Josh Allen right now is better than Michael Penix at this point. If it's up to them and arm strength and decision-making, Penix just doesn't have the time, the numbers, the years. So we don't want that. We don't want that to be a back in the day Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning, who's the bigger gunslinger. Those were amazing, epic challenges, evenly matched. If it's Josh Allen versus Michael Penix, we're in for a long game. So we want to do what you mentioned, make it a run game, run-heavy game. Me and Mike did that Matt Ryan's first years. The first year Michael Turner came, we were number 2 in the NFL for rushing. Number 2. And that was because we had a rookie quarterback. As talented as Matt Ryan was, and the MVP became to be, he also needed help from his running backs. And so luckily, Penix has 2 of the greatest running backs, I think, in the league, with Algier and Bijan. So we don't want it to be a shootout. That's going to be bad for us. Good for you guys, bad for us.
Go ahead, Sal.
Does he have the mobility to get outside? He hasn't been a scrambler per se yet. Bills have faced a couple guys already this year who can get out of the pocket and either throw on the run or pick up yardage with their legs. Penix doesn't seem to be showing that yet, though. Is it because he's being told not to and he's being told to just stay there and deliver, or does he have the mobility to give? Because the Bills are going to come after him on the edges. And I just wonder, does he have the ability to get out of there and escape the pressure?
Yeah, he absolutely has the ability. I mean, I've seen him in practice. I've been at training camp. I've had a chance to go to a couple of practices and seen that he does so much more during practice than he does in the game. And I'm just wishing sometimes you'll see several situations to where he can run the ball, but I don't know if he, Lamar Jackson did this a little bit when he first started. He wanted to prove to people that I am a quarterback who can throw the ball. I'm not somebody who has to use my legs the whole time. So I think he might have that same type of feeling, but I need him to get over that. I need him to not need to prove to you or to me or to anybody that he can throw the ball. I need him just to use what's in front of him, take what's in front of him, which on a couple of occasions has been a chance to run. So this might be the game where he breaks out and decides to use both of his talents and lets us do some really exciting things.
All right, finally here, Ovie, just we ask when we have guests on from opposing markets and that sort of a thing. Overall assessment of the Buffalo Bills at 4-1 at this point as Super Bowl favorites. You see them that way?
No, I mean, unfortunately, you can't lose to the Patriots and be a favorite. But I mean, how they bounce back matters. So it's not a answer I can give you confidently right now, because if this tanks them and is something that is all right, we weren't able to climb out of this hole, we showed where we're vulnerable. Other teams picked it up. It's a copycat league. The same way they beat you guys, we're going to try to beat you guys in that same way. If we're able to actually do it, we know it, and we actually still can accomplish our goals, then I'm going to say those Super Bowl chances are slim. But if you guys do what the Buffalo Bills probably your fan base thinks you're going to do, which is show that you are a dominant team despite not having superstars on the receiving core. Josh has taken teams with very little star power to the playoffs and close to Super Bowl before. So I still feel like you guys are one of the top teams, but this game will tell a lot about how you can bounce back and the resiliency of your organization.
All right, Ovie, we appreciate it. Sal, you got anything else?
Nope, that was well put, because that's exactly how I feel. You couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah, summed it up perfectly. Great way to put a wrap on this show. So, Ovie Mughelli, again, we thank you for your time. Ovie Mughelli, host of Believe in Falcons here on the Believe Network. This is Believe in Bills presented by FanDuel. We thank you, as always, for being with us.